Hey guys, I'm back again for like the 20th time. Okay, listen, I have good reasons why. I just, I got bored and I just didn't want to do it. And then I just stopped. Completely stopped. I am so sorry. No, actually, what it is I decided to put my own thoughts on the most recent popular thing that's going on, the most trending thing going on currently around YouTube, and that is the fight between KSI and Logan Paul. I decided to do like a kind of like a what you call it. I got a haircut too. I like the way this one looks. I might actually keep it. I decided to do it the way, some people do, kind of like a news kind of thing, but I decided to do it like, according to sports or, just the subjects I'm interested in. I don't want to go in the world, saying, oh, this person killed this people, or 4 people were found dead here, holy crap. I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to, do what I want to do. I'm going to report what I want to report on. I don't want to be over here, recording about, what Trump said today, even though that's what's trending. I don't care. Like, really, I don't care. So, stuff I do care about, which is mostly like sports, video games, and if I am really interested in a political topic, I will talk about it, but like, other than that, I'm not really going to talk about politics. Now, back to the task at hand. So, KSI fought Joe Weller in March, and he decided to call out Logan Paul. And, or he called out Jake Paul, but, Jake Paul's a little girl, so he didn't want to fight Jake Paul. Or Jake Paul didn't want to fight KSI. Messed up lines. I don't have lines. I do this off the top of my head. But no, KSI called out Jake Paul. Jake Paul didn't want to fight KSI unless it was an MMA fight. The reason being is because Jake Paul is a wrestler. There's an ice maker going on in the background. That's why I'm speaking up. Hopefully that doesn't bother you. It's making weird sounds. No, the reason is because Jake's a wrestler and he wants to take him down and beat him up on the ground. But KSI's like, no, I'm a boxer, and then whatever happens. And then his brother came in. Make a long story short, the fight's on, but it's Logan Paul, because he called out any other Pauls. They tried to get KSI to fight his dad. And Logan's like, I'll fight him. And then KSI's little brother, Comedy Shorts Gamer, is going to be fighting Jake Paul in the co-main event. Alright, and the 2 press conferences are up online if you want to watch them. I'm just going to basically go through what I thought about them and what happened. I'm practicing editing, so I'm not going to be all super good at editing immediately, because I am not going to edit clips of the press conferences in with this, because I'm not that good of an editor. Look at me. I do look like an editor, but I'm not skinny and I don't have a beard and glasses, and my name is not editors have like a really basic name, like Ian or Jared or Kevin, something like that. Like they have a really basic name, and it's true. But basically, back on subject, my thoughts on the fight. Alright, so basically in the press conferences, LA press conference was just complete polls, nothing but polls. Basically, there was no offense. There was some offense from KSI. It was more, the LA press conference was more of the balanced press conference out of all of them, or out of both of them so far. I don't know if there's going to be any more of them. There might be, I don't know. Might be a final press conference. But other than that, I think it's just going to be a weigh-in. But I don't know if you could hear me. But no, it's just the, I think the weigh-in is the only thing that's next. So I think that's going to be the only one next. I think I just repeated that like 5 times. But they're both very different. Both very different. Both had different coordinators that were supposed to ask questions. LA, they had Shannon, the Cannon Briggs, which I was actually very surprised that they did. I was watching the press conference waiting. I'm just like, I don't know what this is going to be. And then they're like, introducing the man who has the most first-round knockouts in professional boxing. I'm like, Shannon Briggs? And they're like, Shannon the Cannon Briggs. He walks and he's like, let's go, champ! Let's go, champ! Let's go, champ! And I'm just like, oh, shoot, I'm interested. Sitting here like that, just like, I'm interested. But basically, yeah, Shannon Briggs was the guy who was going to ask the questions, and he was standing there. You know, he was doing the Dana White, basically, where you're standing in the desk, and hopefully someone will ask you a question. But no one in the crowd was asking questions. Literally, in LA, the LA press conference was literally just a bunch of 12-year-old boys and girls going, Logan Paul, Logan Paul, Logan Paul, Jake Paul, Jake Paul, Jake Paul, Maverick, Maverick, 7, Team 10, Team 10, Team 10, Team 10. It's like, it was literally just 12-year-olds. Literally. And when the press conference started, Deji walks out, and Deji walks in all like, you know, he's sitting there, you know, trying to act all cool. Ugh. And then Jake walked out. Jake Paul. He walks out, literally, I'm not making this up. He tried his best not to, but he ended up being Conor McGregor. Like, he wanted to be Conor McGregor. So he walks in, and honestly, people saying he acted like Conor McGregor. He acted like both Mayweather and McGregor in the press conference, literally, because he was like, yeah, yeah. But the way he talked was Conor. So the way he talked was very Conor-esque. He even, I'm pretty sure he caught himself, though. He even almost had an Irish accent at one point. Like, he almost started talking in an Irish accent. Like, he goes, get out here! Walmart! he was like, get out there here! Walmart! Like, if you notice, at one point, he does almost start talking in an Irish accent. Like, he's practiced, like, Mayweather or the McGregor lines of talking, and he's just done the Irish accent. Like, who are you talking to, you know? I'll beat you at the 4 rounds, you know, something like that. I can't do an Irish accent. I'm sorry for the ear something you got. I don't know. I don't want to say ear rape, because, I don't know, that's been used to death. I want something unique, you know. But yeah, then KSI walks out. You know, he walks out all like, you know, he walks out like that. He's all like, you know, like he tries walking all cool, and then he's just like, he's standing there like that, and then he sits down, and then Logan, when his song comes out, when his song comes on, I don't know what song he picked, but he just walks up to him and just looks at him right in the face like that, and he's just talking to him, and that's probably one of the best things about this feud is just literally he just goes, it's just like that. He just walks up in a matter of seconds and just starts talking to him. So that was, and then he starts talking, and then they were both Logan pulled KSI's hair, which then prompted KSI to well, the reason he pulled his hair was because he put a blonde wig on and started saying, you know, he was mimicking the Suicide Forest. And Logan didn't like that, so he yanked off the wig and pulled his hair, which KSI then prompted to push and almost throw a punch at Logan Paul, which then preceded the whole press conference to be shut down at that point. So that was the LA press conference. Apparently Deji's glasses got broken. So yeah, it was very interesting. And now, the reason I say things were about to change up was because in between the London press conference and the UK press conference, Deji ended up leaving the gym that KSI's trainer Vidal was training KSI at, because KSI was training, or Vidal was training KSI and Deji, or Comedy Schwartz Gamer, and they were both, I guess they had their disagreements, so he ended up going to Vic's boxing gym, which is, I guess, somewhat known around that area. So, yeah, he went there, and he just went off on his own. He's training, and then it all led up to the UK press conference in the York Hall in London. Basically, after this, this UK press conference kicks off with the preliminary fights between JMX and some short, fat Russian Arab guy, who I have no idea I have no idea what his name is. All I know is that he's Arab. I believe he's Arab. He could be Indian. I don't know. He looked Arab and sounded Arab to me, so I was just like, okay, I think he's Arab. But he's fighting JMX, who is a very lanky man. It's funny because literally JMX is like right here. He's about, I think he might be a little bit taller than me. I'm 6'1.5", so he's probably about 6'2", 6'3", so he's about like there. He's fighting the guy, and this guy's short and fat. He's fatter than I am, and I don't know if you can see, I'm a pretty, plump guy. Basically, he's like this. The face-off goes on literally right here. Like, he's literally looking at him. He's like this, and JMX is right there, and he's just looking at him. He's like, "Oh, knock you out, you're gonna hit it." And he's talking to him. I mean, you gotta give the little guy props, because, I mean, he's ready to go. He's like, I want to, he's calling him a bastard and everything. He's like, I'm gonna knock you out, you bastard, And then JMX is like, okay, we'll see. JMX's last fight, he fought something Fox. It wasn't Tanner Fox. It was like Mike Fox or something like that. But he fought him. Mike Fox is a little bit taller than this guy. But basically, JMX, all he did was just throughout the entire fight. And then he ended up winning by knockout. But on the bright side, Mike Fox did end up proposing to his girlfriend. So, I mean, it wasn't a total loss for Mike Fox. Then the second preliminary fight, which is probably the fight I'm most excited for. We got Anson Gibb, who, I think that's how you pronounce his name, or Anison Gibb or something like that. Gibb is fighting one of my favorite YouTubers growing up. He still is. Jay Swingler from TGF Bro. Yeah. The guy that my brother always says is on drugs. He's like, he's always like, he's been injured so many times, it's not funny, but yeah, basically he's fighting that guy. And I'm kind of excited for it because Gibb is probably the most, technical, or the most, skilled boxer in that group that's fighting. But Jay, in my opinion, most likely will have the best chin you will ever see because of the fact of all these injuries that he's had. I mean, he broke his arm, he's broken his shin. I mean, he's broken a lot of bones in his body. So basically, when something breaks, though, it becomes stronger when it's formed, so it will attempt not to break again. So basically, his arm's going to be stronger. His arm's going to be stronger. He's going to have a firmer, harder shot because of when you throw a punch, you're going to have to put all of your arm weight into it. When you're going to throw a punch, you're going to go, like with all your weight. So you're going through your bicep over to your forearm into the hand, like that. So you got to kind of push like that. And so that's basically what he's doing. That's basically what I want Ramel to win this, or Jay. I want Jay. Did I say Ramel? Shoot. No, Jay, the white guy from TGF, Ramel was supposed to fight JMX, actually. Ramel was supposed to fight JMX, but due to family issues, apparently family issues, he didn't fight JMX. JMX is saying that he was scared of him or whatever. I don't really care about that, but I think Ramel would have won. Ramel's an athlete. I mean, you look at the guy, he's just, he's a big guy. So yeah, basically him and Gabe are talking to each other. Jay said that he was going to knock Gib out in the first round, and Gib was just happy to be there. He's all happy. He's like, I'm going to beat you, you don't have any skill. I'm more skilled than you are and all this. So yeah, that was very interesting. And then the co-main and main events came out. Very different. Very different. Because it's in the UK, where KSI and Comedy Shorts Gamer are from. In London. In the York Hall. With 1,000 screaming fans that are against Team 10 and the Low Gang. Very interesting. Jake Paul comes out in this red suit. I know exactly what the suit's called. It's called like the Red Devil. You can go to, I'm not sponsored, but you can go to opposuits.com and buy that suit for like $300. I mean, it's not that expensive, but or not even $300. It's like $100. It's not that much. I think that's the suit, but basically he comes out in that suit. He comes in all proper, walks in, and then Deji walks out. At this point, Jake's just sitting. He's just sitting, and then Deji walks out, and the crowd goes crazy. The crowd just loves it. They're all like, yeah! It's just like insane. He walks out and he's smiling like, yeah, what's up? He finally feels love. Because the thing is that's what Deji's thing was. Deji's thing was, oh, I'm not loved. Like, not loved, but basically he was saying that Keemstar is not going for him and that he's not, being respected and no one believes in him. Which isn't true. They're going for him. They just don't think he's going to win. Most likely he's not going to win. But I'll get that in later. Actually, it's a lot harder to predict now that he's left to Vic's boxing gym. But basically, yeah, so this is just basic trash talk. But you can tell that crowd was bothering Jake Paul. Because Jake was just sitting there, And when it came to the face-off, Deji's just like, he's just trying to talk to him. And Jake decides to do the John Jones or Anderson Silva where he's just like, he's just trying to ignore him best he can, just like. And then Deji goes, no eye contact. And then he goes, like that. And then they're both just talking back and forth, I don't know what they were saying. I don't care what they were saying. I just want to see a fight. And then, they left, whatever. Jake's like, thank you all for coming out to the show. And they're all like, F Jake Paul! F Jake Paul! Which was one of the many chants that you will hear if you watch the UK press conference. And then the main event. KSI versus Logan Paul, the UK press conference. Logan comes walking in like he's about to cry. Like, I kid you not, he looks like you see him sit down, he's like... like, he literally went like that, he went... like that, and he was just so, like he looked sad, like, he was just like, this isn't going to be good. And then here comes KSI. The crowd just starts cheering for him, like, yeah, KSI, KSI, KSI. He walks in wearing the blonde wig, he walks in all like, with the microphone, and he goes, welcome to London. And I don't allow swearing, so I'm not going to finish the sentence, but basically it's MF. He then said, hasn't London suffered enough? What was it? We lost to Croatia. We had Trump go over to America. And then now we have you. Or we had Trump come over last week. And now we have you. So what a month it's been for London. That's basically what he was saying. Logan, at this point, couldn't say anything. He was not able to say anything. And this was just about 5 or 6 pure minutes of KSI just absolutely wrecking Logan Paul. And not just Logan Paul, but his father, Greg Paul, because during the press conference, like I mentioned earlier in a quick little thing, I should have probably dove a little bit more farther into it, but because they offered to fight his dad, or the Pauls, because he said any of the Pauls, so basically, okay, we'll have him fight our dad. Oh yeah, you're gonna have your daddy fight for you? Stupid. But basically that, and so he was just like, how could you raise two dumb children? And then Greg walks in, he goes, you want to know how I raised 2 dumb children? He goes, ask your mom why she raised 2 dumb children. And that was Greg Paul's comeback, was your mom. Yeah, that's not really a good way to talk about. That's not a good way for a comeback when they're saying, what's wrong with you? How can you raise 2 dumb children? And, but before that, he said, you have a new girlfriend. What do we think about her? At this time, what Santa Claus says, ho ho ho, minus the 2 ho-hos, minus ho-ho, and add she's a, and you get that chant. Over and over again. And you can tell at this time, Logan's just sitting there, he's just like, oh no. Like, he's just head down, just crying. And I don't know, he might have been crying. He's messing with his sunglasses. He's playing with his sunglasses, and he's just like, I'm not I don't want to be here. Like, he had that I don't want to be here. And then his dad shows up, and he's all going, ask your mom, and all this. You see Logan turn to him like, are you serious? Like, you're going to come up here and do what? Your mom? Like, really? That's been dead for like 5 years. You really think your mom is going to be like, how dare you talk about my mother, I told my brothers, I want to see Greg Paul versus Papa Olatunji. I want to see that. I want to see the man from Nigeria versus the guy from the crackhead from Ohio and Greg Paul. And I want to see just Greg would most likely win, but I don't care. I would like to see that, but basically Logan's just like, he was done at this point. At this point, he was just like, I'm done. So he goes, he answered everything. I'd love to sit here and answer your questions, but he's probably addressed everything. I'm out. Drops the mic. This guy has these slick reflexes. Catches it, walks out of the way, walks off stage. KSI then starts to scream, why are you leaving your little girl and all this, and they're all, chanting, yeah, KSI, 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 and I'm just like, yeah, because I don't like the Pauls. Well, I followed them on Vine in like 2016, before they started YouTube, and before they were before the Suicide Forest, and before Jake was just pretty much known to be a bully, bad neighbor, racist. What other acronyms were we, or not acronyms, but what other words or nouns? I don't know English that well, so whatever the words are you racist, bad neighbor, bad musician, bad rapper. He then proceeds to say he's a country singer. I don't think there's one country song that he's come out with. But yeah, so Jake Paul was just all around bad. But I think it's funny because it's literally London's Jake Paul and London's Logan Paul versus the real Logan Paul and the real Jake Paul. And you don't really see that, but basically what happened after the press conference is kind of messed up. Basically, Greg Paul was sucker punched by a fan. There's video footage of him. Like, you could tell that the fan was just amped up, and he just ran up and just, and like full on clocked him. There's another video of Greg Paul after he got shot. He was just mad. He was in like, looked like a subway. I don't know where he was, but he ended up like shoving a couple guys, and he was just running, and they were throwing paint at him, G Fuel. They were throwing a bunch of stuff at him. The reason of that, I don't know why. It apparently, it actually is a little bit of Comedy Shorts Gamer's fault. In a now deleted YouTube video that he made, he basically said, you know, where I come from, you know, we kill you, put your dead body on your shirt and walk up to your mom's house and be like, yo, I killed your son, you know. And then he then proceeded to say, when they show up to London and you end up getting your hands on them, do whatever to them, I don't care. That was a big mistake from Comedy Shorts Gamer, because Izadi, this fake mobster dude, he walks in, he's like, he goes, so apparently you told the fans to assault us, to assault these vehicles, and he zooms in on this gold Rolls Royce. He's like, look at this. He goes, you're messing with a real Vegas bro, okay? I'm going to come after everything you own, and then I'm going to come after you, player. And then he comes, and I'm just like, bro, are you serious? And then you watch the video that they showed of Deji saying, do whatever you want to them if you get your hands on them, I don't care. You're basically saying, well, great, they're both bad people. I guess Deji's kind of the lesser of two evils. But Izadi basically said, you know, you go ahead and Google me, man, and Deji did. He ended up getting false human trafficking charges. He kidnapped. He apparently none of these have been proven true. They're all speculation. I believe he pled not guilty to these, but for kidnapping and waterboarding a girl because she wanted to leave his trafficking ring. It's kind of difficult to explain, but if you want, just Google Yazadi or whatever, and you'll get the whole thing. I don't want to explain it. Basically, very disturbing stuff. I don't know why you say, hey, Google me, player, and then you get all this crazy stuff that you were torturing a girl. So, it's kind of weird. And then Logan Paul said because he left because True Geordie, the guy who was Dana White in London, he's basically a big British guy with tattoos and he's like a beard. Basically, they said, you know, he was biased against me because I made a video in the Suicide Force, and he made a video responding to the Suicide Force, saying that he hates me and that I'm a little female dog. But what he doesn't realize is that True Geordie released a video of him reacting to the press conference, and literally he said, I had no control of whatever happened after. He goes, they were throwing stuff on stage. He goes, I had no control. I acted like I knew what I was doing, but in fact I didn't know what I was doing. He said, I didn't know what was going on. I didn't know what happened. I don't know why I was there. Before, if Logan would have just did his research a little bit more, he would have seen that video and he would have been, oh, it was beyond his control, you know? And then KSI is just like, why you gotta say True Geordie was biased against me when Shannon Briggs, the Cannon, let's go champ, was clearly biased towards the Pauls. And he was even at the UK press conference standing next to Greg Paul, you know, like this, smiling, like, yeah, he's all wearing his merch, you know, let's go champ, Shannon the Cannon. I'm a big fan of Shannon Briggs, so I don't care. But basically, yeah, that is what happened. So now we kind of don't know what's going on. You know, I don't know really who's the good guy in the situation. They're both bad people, and I'm going to get to my prediction in a second. Hopefully.